Fenwick Light is an Islander 34 offshore, crewed by Farrell, Kayleen, and Danielle, who sailed from Victoria, BC to Hawaii summer of 2016. I've put together this informational video for those who would like to do the same journey, or for those who would like a bit better understanding of what goes into the preparation for a trip like this, and what offshore sailing is really like. You can find more information on my blog. The link is in the information box below. We expected to take 3 to 3.5 weeks and ended up taking 25 days. We prepped food for 4 weeks plus a week of emergency food with 1 week's worth of fresh food. We don't have a refrigerator on board, just a nice box, so packed a week's worth of frozen meals that thawed as we went. We split the food into 4 sections for each week and put everything into Ziploc bags.
I tried to organize it, breakfast, lunch, etc. in here, and lots of tin food at the bottom. Their typical pasta, rice, etc. And then their staples. And we'll have lots of fresh, so their hammocks of vegetables and their fruit. And we will have some dried ice and trying to keep their first weeks good to go. Day 8, they will take all of the food I've split off for week 2 and re-provision the cabinets that I've just finished showing you. The snack food's all divvied up and ready to go. Tried to in each week put a few little surprises so that they have something to open and look forward to. We think they're going to be pretty tired of granola bars, so we opted to get about 4 different varieties and again split it up amongst the four weeks.
We ended up getting pretty tired of our food choices, especially lentil soup, but definitely didn't run out.
Food-wise, I think the biggest thing is diversity, because we seem to have enough food, but a lot of it's getting repetitive, or not all of it. And I'm happy with most of it, but it does. For soups, for example, we have all what type? Lentil soups. All lentil soups. No other type. And it'd be nice to have like more like tomato soup or different types, just basic carrot or whatever soups. And we didn't really set up for baking much. I wouldn't mind more baking packages too, where we could just make more of the cornbread up.
Like the granola bars from week 3 to be different from week 2's granola bars, because then you can be excited for something new. Living on a boat can be tough, especially when we're constantly moving, have limited space, and are continuously getting dripped on by leaky port lights. This is one of 3 bunks we have. We'll be storing our personal belongings around each of the bunks. So we each have these 75-liter dry bags to put our clothes and anything important we need to keep dry. They're by AquaQuest. They're the 75-liter duffel bags. And we've also put in little pockets. My sister made these. And then from our previous voyage, we had these lee cloths, which are to help when we're underway and on attack. That way, when we're leaning over, you don't roll out of bed. So that should come in handy, I think. We took an offshore survival course in preparation for the trip. We learned how to deploy our life raft and what to put in our ditch bag, which we stored above deck for easy access. Snacks. A point to the EPIRB. A flashlight that you can shake to get going. VHF, handheld GFF. Whistle, compass, their knife. Oh, and there's matches in there.
Not that we hadn't used them. 3 hours later, so. Oh, that's the batteries.
Okay, batteries.
And matches. Yeah, let's throw us a new battery in there.
First aid kit. And flares. All in this bright yellow ditch bag.
We left in 3rd week of June, June 20th.
We chose that date because of a number of factors. One is that it was getting close to summer holidays, and the other is to do a trip to Hawaii and back over the course of the summer. We needed enough time to make the 1 month journey there and 1 month journey back and 1 month in Hawaii. So we felt about middle of June was the best time to leave. The summer months give the most consistent trade winds for the trip down to Hawaii and back. Our primary safety system is to keep everybody on board. To do that, we have jack lines, which are webbing that run from the bow to the stern on both sides of the boat that we can clip on with our tether lines and safety harnesses like this one. We have some safety features with our navigation equipment that we just acquired. One that's been the most helpful is our VHF radio here. Has GPS capabilities, plus it has an AIS, which is a automated information system on ships, commercial traffic, and all commercial vessels have to send out a signal that we can receive with this radio that gives their location, their bearing they're on, and the speed they're traveling. So our radio can tell us how close that ship is going to get to us and in what length of time it does all the calculations for us. So some of the busy shipping lanes, as we came down the coast of California, we might see 4 or 5 different ships around us within 20 miles, and the radio will tell us which one's going to come by closest, and it also gives us their calling number, which we can call them on and either ask them to change their course or just let them know that we're there.
We were on an intersecting course wind, so they've now shifted positions and we shall be passing on their stern.
We have a GPS plotter, which gives us the location of the boat, relative latitude, longitude, and if there's any geography around, which there isn't right now. We have a blue screen which just shows ocean forever and ever around us, and we monitor that constantly to see if we need to alter course and to keep the boat steering. Most of the time we have the mechanical steering system, which is operated by the wind, working, but there's some conditions where it doesn't work very well, so then we have to hand steer. But I would say 90% of the time, maybe even 95% of this trip, the wind vane steering has been doing the most work. We have an electric autopilot as well, but it's really only good for flat conditions motoring. It's not strong enough to handle these big sea swells. It's generally been pleasant weather, but we've had a lot of cloud cover. It was on the way down the coast of Washington, Oregon, and California. As we got further and further off coast, we had lots of beautiful days, but we also had a small weather system move through, which gave us some heavier gale-like winds, pretty close to gale one night. And we've had a lot more cloud cover than we expected, especially once we've been down in the trade winds heading out to Hawaii, which has been 1,000 miles of ocean, and if we had to try to rely on sextant readings, taking a noonday sun, we would be
Pooped.
We would be really in trouble, because I don't think I've seen a noonday sun yet.
The sun's back out after last night's squall, which had water spraying all over our boat. I don't think anyone got very much sleep last night. We were very lucky with our winds, as my mom helped navigate us from shore using Predict Wind. The first week, we traveled on a close to broad reach down the coast. Then on, we downwind sailed in the trade winds, either wing on wing with a pole or on a broad reach. We were surprised with how big the swells were, which never seemed to end. We weren't able to jump in the water until our last day of travel.
Yeah, we've now done 2,500 nautical miles of ocean travel since leaving Comox. I can't think of anything directly that I would change. The main thing I think is I probably would put an AIS transponder on board, because they're not that expensive, and it would give you the peace of mind that ships could see you, or at least know where you are, because you have so little ability to get out of their way.
We all had our challenges aboard. The constant movement and night watches definitely proved to be too. I thought we'd have more fish. I didn't realize there wouldn't be any fishing really in the middle of the ocean. We caught lots of garbage though. I was really hoping to eat a lot of fish tacos. I think the night shifts have been the hardest part of the trip. We've been doing 3-hour night shifts, so we rotate between the three of us, which means that one person will get 6 hours of sleep, which has been really great compared to at first we were just doing 2-hour night shifts. You can't really tell what the wind's doing as much, and if you need help you have to wake someone up, which kind of sucks. And it's also really hard to keep your eyes open, which last night I fell asleep for a second and my dad had to wake me up. One thing I was surprised, I guess I didn't really think about how much free time we would have. So I've read over 20 books now. Which, thank goodness, Danielle brought her little Kobo e-reader thing.
Thanks, Katie.
Yeah, because I would have ran out of books a long time ago.
I read 4 books, which is pretty good for me.
Yeah!
I don't read a lot. Even though everyone else has read like a million, but you know.
I wished I'd probably brought more books on my Kobo. I forgot to download a bunch of books. I was happy to have the podcasts on my phone. That's worked out really well for night watches, because then you don't have to have a light on trying to read. So we've read lots.
What's the first thing you're gonna do on land?
Have a shower. Eat some fish tacos.
One of the first things I want to do is just have a seat in a restaurant and be served some foods that we haven't had in a month, and a real good shower.
The first thing when I get to Hawaii is pina colada and fish tacos, and I want to run. Although I probably will only last 5 minutes before.